Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Tata Nexon with Mercedes logos. Okay, just kidding. This is the Tata Nexon facelift because it's got the tri-stars right there. But before we start, let me share some useful information with you guys. Did you know that one major aspect that increases the on-road cost of your new car is the insurance you buy from the dealer? I would highly recommend you to get a quote for your new car from Acco Insurance on acco.com and save up to 50% because they don't charge any commission. It's completely online, very easy to purchase within a few minutes and involves zero paperwork. You can get the 3 years third party plus 1 year own damage insurance from Acco for the brand new Tata Nexon, which I'm reviewing today at a price as low as INR 14,112 plus GST. And back to the video, you can see that this car is identical to the petrol one which I reviewed earlier, but this is the diesel. So we're going to quickly open the engine bay of this vehicle, and there you can hear the engine, some amount of vibrations as well. There's insulation right there. Now this is a very smart looking car which you can see, and with the facelift it's become smarter, really sharp, and of course looks very appealing as well. I'm not too sure about the red and white combination which has been done for this paint job, with the roof obviously finished in white. Okay, it looks bold and macho. Of course the wheels are big enough as well, but the profile of the tires is actually quite big at 60. So 215 60 16 is the size of the tire. Lot of ground clearance on offer. And coming to the rear, I don't understand why there's the Union Jack in the taillights of this car, but yes, tri-star is everywhere. You can see that tri-star here, tri-star here, everywhere this car has Mercedes logo, and obviously the UK flag in the taillights, which actually looks nice, but begs the question, why would you do that? Anyways, bulbs, LEDs. Coming to the rear of the car, rather the rear seat of the car, there's good amount of space on offer. Seat recline angle is also very nice. Good amount of under thigh support as well. Decent amount of headroom too. So you can see it's scooped out from here to improve the headroom. And of course, adjustable headrest. There's a center armrest. Yeah, twin cup holders there as well. And the tri-star on the seat. You see there are rear AC vents. But where is the charging socket? Well, there's a charging socket here, which is a 12 volt charging socket. Door pocket is actually quite slim somehow. And I think the tri-star's treatment should be there as well, but you know, the doors almost open 90 degrees. Take that, Tata Ultros. Every time you don't have to say that, but I just did. So let's close this with a proper thud. The boot is also decent enough. Yeah, it keeps making this noise every time you are out of the car with the key to tell you what, you know what, the key is not inside the car. I know you don't need to tell everybody that they can steal the car because the car is open and the keys are not inside. How will they steal the car? Barely they can tow it off. Boot is actually big enough, and obviously the spare wheel isn't an alloy. It's not even the same size tire as the regular tire. It's 195 60 16. Meanwhile, you can split forward the seat into 60 40 format in order to increase the boot carrying capacity of this car. Now up ahead there's some really keep quiet. Okay, here, take the key. Happy? Now shut yourself. Now shut. Hello, the key is inside. Now you can stop honking. What a honky car this is. Anyways, there is a umbrella holder right there. Door pockets are very slim. These switch gears are very old. I mean, they're very old switch gears. Now this car has some amount of accessories, which means that it's got front parking sensors as well. Yeah, there are 2 sensors. Front parking sensors are there, and there's so many accessories that half of them I don't even know. So there are 2 front parking sensors at the front parking sensors. What am I talking? Okay, there's a button here which I don't know is for what. Ambient light is there here as well. This is always on. Okay, always on. As soon as you turn on the car, or rather unlock the car, it is on. All the time blinking. I don't know what that button does. Seats are actually quite comfortable, and again you get the tri-star here as well, and the steering wheel gets a flat bottom treatment. Okay, this is getting a height adjust function. Yeah, the seat belt gets the height adjust function. I find the sunroof to be a bit on the smaller side. The dashboard looks quite nice. Build quality is actually quite good on this car, and this is actually a small screen. It's a 7-inch screen. Okay, tri-star, press this button, glove box opens. Glove box is massive. It's bigger than the cupboard I have at home. That's how big the glove box is, and obviously there are good amount of storage spaces here too. Okay, but unfortunately there's no proper cubby hole here. Now this is unfortunately too big. It comes from the Hexa. They could have removed it, put it here, so it's easier to actually switch between drive modes rather than having it here, which could become a cup holder, because inside here you see a lot of rough edges. Now it gets a air purifier. Again, this is optional kit. When you slot it in, it makes a lot of noise. Of course, it makes a lot of noise when it's slotted in. Yeah, you can hear that. Now I'm just going to remove it for the moment because air seems to be quite pure at the moment. This is very Jaguar inspired. Now this is this cool function called Express Cool. When you press this button, it turns on the air conditioning on full flow and also actually opens the driver's side window to just let the hot air out. Instrument cluster could have been better, comes from the Tiago and the Tigor, very much like that, but you can't really read the tachometer as such unless and until you get on the throttle. Now in the day it's still fine, in the night you really can't see much. What you're going to do is we are going to turn off the lights and the screen becomes bright. I love this feature, which is like the driver rear view monitor. Anyway, we can just simply get into reverse as well to show that to you, which means that I have to lift it, push it into reverse. There we are into reverse. It gets guidelines which are adaptive. Let's turn off the air conditioning. So these are the air conditioning controls, but there is no display here. The display actually comes here from the climate control. So you see the display is actually changing right there. Buttons here for the audio system, start stop button. These are actually the controls for the audio system. These are controls for the cruise control, and these are the controls for the automatic headlights. These are controls for the wipers. Yeah, good amount of spray on offer. Only thing is that the water isn't there much, so yeah, it's just going to rub there. Unfortunately, there's no auto dimming inside rear view mirror, which is the glaring omission. There is no mirror here nor a light, but there is a mirror. No light there, not needed. No handle on this side, there's a handle on that side. Seats feel very comfortable. I like the center console, but storage space could have been better. And there's a USB charging socket along with a 12 volt charging socket. I just don't know where to keep my mobile phone. That is the only problem I'm facing, where to keep my mobile phone in this car. Now the steering wheel is actually adjustable only for height. Yeah, that's about it. It's adjustable only for height. The WRV also offers you both reach and rake adjustment, which is quite cool. Dashboard is really very big. And what I really like about this car is that the horn is easy to press, yeah, on the corners, but accidentally you end up pressing it a lot of times. There's a tire pressure monitor which you just cannot reset, unfortunately. A lot of information here, distance to empty and whatnot, and easy to browse through this. Yeah, just press this button, you can see the outside temperature, what is the fuel economy and whatnot. All this information right at the touch of your fingertips. That's also cool. They have this chrome surround going on right there. So you see, this Tata Nexon is the same as the petrol version, but this is the diesel, which means it's slightly noisier, but still my pick to buy. Why so? Well, since I've already done a detailed walk around of this car earlier, you can just click here to see it. Let's just get driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning, getting into sport mode.
Economy drive mode.
Sport bola tha, baby.
Sport drive mode activated.
Thank you so much. Let's change the themes because I don't like yellow, I like red. So let's change the theme to something else. User, no, Zen. Where's the red one? Yeah, Zing. Anyways, traction control cannot be turned off, hazard light off. Handbrake down into first gear, revving the motor. It revs till almost 4,500 RPM. It actually revs till the red line itself, which is very impressive. And off we go. Some amount of wheel spin. In spite of the fact that there is traction control on offer, there is ESP, there is rollover mitigation, you name it. Tata has stuffed every possible feature in this car to ensure that it remains NCAP 5-star rated. And there we already crossed 100 km per hour, which by the way takes around 13 seconds. Now compared to what I remember about the Nexon, this one feels a little different because this complies with BS6 emission norms, which means that the low end has been blunted in order to ensure that there is not much emission happening here, and because of which there is pronounced low end lag. You really have to push the motor past 2000 RPM to get going fast with enthusiasm, but that's not a problem because I love it. I love the silence before the storm. I like cars which have a lot of low end lag because once you hit the turbo, you absolutely take off. Yeah, that's mind blowing. I like it. Anyways, low end is lacking, mid-range is very good in this car. There's a good nice mid-range punch, and then again top end is lacking where it becomes very coarse. The motor becomes very coarse and doesn't feel comfortable at all. Beyond 4,000, beyond 3,500 RPM, you're not making any progress whatsoever. Braking performance is actually very strong. Something is vibrating like crazy, so let me just fix that and get back to the vlog. First gear 41 km per hour into second. Second it does 70 km per hour into third, and there it crosses 100 km per hour, 105 km per hour, 106 km per hour into third. Now this is a 6-speed gearbox which is actually slick shifting, but sometimes you know what it says, thoda mujhe dhakka maar do na yaar. So you have to give it a push and a shove at occasionally, not really frequently. The clutch is actually light but not the most well weighed as such.
Nahi, the rattling sound is coming from there. वो आवाज आ रही है वहाँ से.
It actually bogs down as soon as you launch. Red line comes in close to 5,000 RPM. Actually 4,500 RPM is where the red line is of this vehicle. Now the steering is a lovely unit. It offers a lot of feel and feedback. Yeah, very feelsome steering wheel. It is actually light at low speed, not very light, still heavy enough, but it weighs up brilliantly at high speeds, very accurate as well. And because the suspension is on the stiffer side, this is actually a very fun car to drive. At high speeds, it tracks dead straight. It tracks beautifully straight, at high speeds, which is fantastic. However, because of the stiffness over really bad roads, you can feel a lot of that, unfortunately. Now this 1.5 litre diesel engine produces just 69 horsepower and 180 Newton meters of torque, which seems to be absolutely nothing, right? It is absolutely nothing. That's why performance is very lackluster when you're in eco mode. I'm telling you about the performance in eco mode because this car's got 3 drive modes. Yeah, so that was the performance or the output numbers in eco mode. Now if you get into city mode, the numbers improve by 20, which means that it produces 89 horsepower and 220 Newton meters of torque. And in sport mode, which you're driving in right now, it produces 110 horsepower and 260 Newton meters of torque between 1500 to 2750 RPM. That's the reason why past 2000 RPM, it really pulls hard and strong. Now this car doesn't really like to be driven sedately. It likes to be pushed somehow. And although it is very refined lower down, it kind of gets coarse in the top end and you can feel a lot more inside. Now there's a massive traffic jam because there's obviously a train crossing on the left. Now this is one of the worst speed breakers, but no problem for the Nexon. You know why? Because the ground clearance is ample at 209 mm, which is ample ground clearance as such. Now into first gear, we have to be in first gear because if you're not in first gear, it just doesn't go ahead in second and it drops dead because of the pronounced lag somehow caused due to, I think, BS6 emission norms. It's got a 44 litre fuel tank capacity and the fuel efficiency is around 14 to 18 kilometers per litre, which is quite respectable. You know what? This is the same engine which was there in the Tiago and the Tigor diesel. They were 3-cylinder. This is a 4-cylinder unit and that's why it has a lot more punch. These drive modes definitely help. Eco mode is the only mode you use when you have no fuel at all and you need to reach a fuel pump or you are absolute chindi of the highest order. Just drive it in city mode. Again, city mode performance is okay. Sport mode is where it feels the best and that is the mode I would recommend all of you to drive it. Now the suspension is on the stiffer side, but the springs are really very tall, so there is good amount of travel on offer. That is the reason why the ride quality is absolutely brilliant. Very good ride quality, but that stiffness can be felt at lower speeds, especially on bad roads. You can feel a lot of the stiffness, so you have to be really very careful. And yeah, braking performance is good enough. Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that it doesn't really nosedive heavy under heavy braking because of the stiff suspension of this vehicle. So here we're going to apply brakes and there we stop dead in track. But I don't understand why we can't turn off traction control. That's kind of absurd. Into first gear, revving the motor and off we go already. Come on. Yeah, that's a lot of wheelspin, but then bogs down because traction control wakes up and says, no baby, no, you can't have so much fun. I can't take it. I can't see you being so happy about spinning the wheels and ruining the tires of what is otherwise grippy rubber on this car, because overall traction levels are good around the corners. There's good amount of grip, but yes, there's body on offer because of the weight and the height. This actually weighs quite a lot. Actually, it weighs almost 1300 kgs or probably more as well, which is kind of hefty and has to be, because this is a Tata car, which means that it has to be made to withstand a lot of abuse and obviously be safe as well. Into 6th gear. In 6th gear at 100 kilometers per hour, you can see the meter is ticking in at around 2000 RPM, slightly around that, and it also creates some resonance. I can hear some vibrating sound from the outside, so some resonance is being created at the moment, but I believe this is an issue with this particular car. For the most part, this is actually a very smooth car to drive. If you don't push it hard into the top end of the rev range, you won't really feel much of anything inside, because overall insulation levels are also very nice on this car. And that red thing has come now. We're going to turn on driver rear view monitor, which doesn't have the best resolution, but anyway, who cares about that? And off we go. So how many variants of the Tata Nexon are available? First and foremost, you guys need to hold a deep breath before I tell you that it has got 36 freaking variants. Yeah, that's right, 36 freaking variants on offer. I don't even know how they do inventory management of this car. 36 variants is a lot. Plus, on top of that, 17 are only for the diesel, between both manual and automatic. Now this is of course the manual which you are driving, and the diesel range starts at rupees 10,06,000 rupees, goes all the way to 15.26 lakhs for the top end diesel automatic. The one we are driving is obviously the top end diesel manual, which is priced at rupees 14.55 lakhs. All the prices are of course on road. Mumbai. Now remember one thing, Tata also does single tone and dual tone colors, which is one of the reasons why there are 36 variants on offer. You have to factor in that, of course, without a doubt. So the Tata Nexon is definitely a great all-round pick for those who are looking for a car which is spacious, safe and sturdy as well, because it really excels in this regard, and obviously it's fun to drive too. The diesel engine is my pick over the petrol without a doubt. I don't like the petrol Nexon much. I feel the engine could be a lot better, but the diesel engine is fantastic here. It offers good amount of punch. Fuel efficiency is also great, and most importantly, the premium you pay for the diesel is definitely worth it. Not for the fuel efficiency alone, but for the performance as well. And these drive modes work really well. in this car, because some of the horses which had socially distanced themselves due to COVID have all of a sudden worn their mask and come back to duty, because that is the difference in performance. It actually lunges ahead in the mid-range, which is very impressive indeed. You can actually push it hard around a corner. It stays in its track, but yeah, there's some amount of roll which can be felt. Just look at it go, alright, there. Maintaining its line beautifully well. So guys, this is my vlog of the Tata Nexon Diesel. See, I told you, sometimes you have to push the gear lever to get into gear. It's a good all-round vehicle, although I expect Tata to improve the petrol engine, because the diesel is the de facto pick. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to this channel. I think I'm trying to run as fast as the engine is spinning. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.